Jesus never answered in the 14th chapter. He didn't answer until we got to Acts chapter 1. In other words, what Jesus is telling them is I don't have to give the world the Holy Ghost if I give the Holy Ghost to my disciples.
All right.
Because if I give you the Holy Ghost, it will burn in you so strongly that you will take the Holy Ghost to the rest of the people. Oh my God, from glory. When you really been filled with the Spirit of God, you can't keep it to yourself. But the old folks said it like this. I went to a meeting one night and they said, and my soul wasn't right. But they said something got a hold of me. Y'all gonna make me preach early. They call it the Holy Ghost. I wonder this morning, is there anybody in the room? And you can say, if it had not been for the Holy Ghost, I would still be a mess. If it had not been for the Holy Ghost, I'd still be living in the old type of way. If it had not been for the Holy Ghost, I'd still be going to the club every Saturday night. Do I have anybody in the room this morning where you can remember when you used to go to the club on Saturday and then find your way to the church on Sunday morning? But all of a sudden, one Sunday morning, the Spirit got a hold of you. And when He got a hold of you, you looked at your hands and your hands looked new. You looked down at your feet and your feet did too. And the reason everything looked new in you, it wasn't because you were so wonderful. It wasn't because you had it all together. But it was because of the Holy Ghost down on the inside of you. I'm getting ready to close here in a minute. But before I close, you want to look at your neighbor and you want to say, neighbor, do you really have Him? You want to say, neighbor, is the Holy Ghost really on the inside of you? You want to say, neighbor, has the Holy Ghost begun to work in you like never before? Because when the Holy Ghost really gets a hold of you, you try to go back to the club. But when you go back to the club, instead of dancing like the world dances, all of a sudden you start dancing like you've been to church. Y'all ain't talking. When the Holy Ghost trying to get a hold of you, when you're trying to cuss out your enemies, the cuss word don't come out right. You're trying to cuss them out and then all of a sudden you start y'all ain't talking. When you got the Holy Ghost, when you're trying to do stuff you shouldn't do, all of a sudden He'll change you. He'll bring you out of where you were and He'll take you to the place where you belong.